to lead the chanting well till Maharaj comes.
Sure, no problem.
Okay.
Tanvika Prabhu, you'll be my responder, please.
And
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine
Namaste Saraswati Devim Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Astachadeshatarine
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Pasyatya Deshatarine
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Okay, so His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj has joined us again after a long hiatus. Maharaj is back from his travels. So Maharaj, thank you for joining us this evening. If you will, please take it over. The show is yours.
All right. I will begin by singing the Mangalacharna prayers and leading a short kirtan. And then I'll read Srimad Bhagavatam about Lord Ramachandra as we are approaching Sri Ram Navami in 3 days. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Pitam Stam Sachivam Sadvaitam Savdutam Vijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Paravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastrata Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Hare Krishna, Hare Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Prajakacharya Stotra Sadasi Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Prajakacharya Stotra Sadasi Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Sham Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Samveta Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So my dear devotees on Zoom, as far as possible, I would like you to put on your cameras so we can see your moonlight faces, and it will be a more personal experience. As we are approaching Sri Ram Navami in 3 days, I will read some verses about Lord Ramachandra and his transcendental qualities and pastimes from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 7, entitled Scheduled Incarnations with Specific Functions. And I will begin with text 23. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 For the sake of time, I'll just read the translation and purport. Translation. Due to his causeless mercy upon all living entities within the universe, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, along with his plenary extensions, appeared in the family of Maharaj Ikshvaku as the Lord of his internal potency, Sita. Under the order of his father, Maharaj Dasarath, he entered the forest and lived there for considerable years with his wife and younger brother. Ravana, who was very materially powerful, with 10 heads on his shoulders, committed a great offense against him and thus was ultimately vanquished. Report by Srila Prabhupada. Lord Rama is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his brothers, namely Bharat, Lakshman, and Shatrughna, are his plenary expansions. All four brothers are Vishnu Tattva and were never ordinary human beings. There are many unscrupulous and ignorant commentators on Ramayana who present the younger brothers of Lord Ramachandra as ordinary living entities. But here in Srimad Bhagavatam, the most authentic scripture on the science of God, it is clearly stated that his brothers were his plenary expansions. Originally, Lord Ramachandra is the incarnation of Vasudeva. Lakshman is the incarnation of Shankarshan. Bharat is the incarnation of Pradumya. And Shatrughna is the incarnation of Aniruddha, expansions of the personality of Godhead. Lakshmi Ji Sita is the internal potency of the Lord and is neither an ordinary woman nor the external potency incarnation of Durga. Durga is the external potency of the Lord, and she is associated with Lord Shiva. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita 4:7, the Lord appears when there are discrepancies in the discharge of factual religion. So that's a very important verse, and I'll read it because it describes, first of all, the purpose of Lord Krishna's descent, but it also describes the purpose of Lord Rama's descent. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhutanam dharmasya tadatmanam shajamyaham. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. And I'll read some of the purport because it's very relevant and instructive. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The word Srijami is significant herein. Srijami cannot be used in the sense of creation because, according to the previous verse, there is no creation of the Lord's form or body, since all the forms are eternally existent. Therefore, Srijami means that the Lord manifests himself as he is. Although the Lord appears on schedule, namely at the end of the Dwapara Yuga of the 28th millennium of the 7th Manu, in one day of Brahma, he has no obligation to adhere to such rules and regulations because he is completely free to act in many ways at his will. So Lord Krishna, the original personality of Godhead, appears only once in a day of Brahma in his original form. And that is a very long time. And Krishna, in his devotional form as Lord Chaitanya, also appears only once in a day of Brahma, in the Kali Yuga, immediately following the Dwapara Yuga, in which Krishna appeared. So we are very fortunate in this Kali Yuga, because in our Kali Yuga, the Yuga avatar is actually Krishna himself in his devotional form as Lord Chaitanya. And so we have a wonderful opportunity to make our lives successful by following the instructions of Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, and especially the process given to us by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which focuses on chanting the holy names, Harinama, Harinama, Harinami Vikevalam, Kalana Stevana, 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 Stevakatiranyata. The Brihad Naradiya Purana says, one should chant the holy names, chant the holy names, chant the holy names of Hari, Krishna. There is no other way, no other way, no other way for success in this age. And Lord Chaitanya's appearance is also predicted in Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna Varnam Tvisa Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtanam Prayar Yajanti Sumedasa. So that means Krishna Varnam. So Varnam can mean category, like Varna and Ashram. And Varnam also means to describe or glorify. So Krishna Varnam means that he is in the same category as Krishna, and he is always engaged in describing Krishna or glorifying Krishna. Krishna Varnam Krisa Krishna, but his color is not blackish. Krishna also means blackish, and Akrishna means not blackish. Krishna Varnam Krisa Krishna Sango Pangastra Parshadam, and he is accompanied by his associates, so many associates, but Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas, Adi Gaur Bhaktavinda. And they act as his weapons for destroying the demonic mentality of the people in Kali Yuga. When Krishna appeared, he would physically kill the demons, but in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya, he doesn't physically kill them, but he kills their demonic mentality by the weapons of his beauty and his instructions and his associates. So, yeah, we are very fortunate, and we should take full advantage of our good fortune. We are even more fortunate because we have come in touch with His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Lord Chaitanya predicted Prativitea Chejato Nagaradigram Sarvatra Pachor Haibe Marnam, that in every town and village of every country of the world, my name or Krishna's name will be preached. And even Gaudiya Vaishnavas had difficulty understanding how such a thing could happen literally. They thought maybe it was just a figurative statement. But as we know, our beloved Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of ISKCON, he actually fulfilled that prediction and brought the chanting all over the world. And his followers are continuing his mission. So now, back to Lord Ramachandra. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita 4:7, the Lord appears when there are discrepancies in the discharge of factual religion. Lord Ramachandra also appeared under the same circumstances, accompanied by his brothers, who are expansions of the Lord's internal potency, and by Lakshmi Ji, Sita Devi. Lord Ramachandra was ordered by his father, Maharaj Dasarath, to leave home for the forest under awkward circumstances. And the Lord, as the ideal son of his father, carried out the order. Even on the occasion of his being declared the king of Ayodhya. One of his younger brothers, Lakshmanji, desired to go with him, and also his eternal wife, Sitaji, desired to go with him. The Lord agreed to both of them, and all together they entered the Dandakaranya forest to live there for 14 years. So this incident was, you could say, a turning point in the pastimes of Lord Ram. He was set to be coronated as the king of Ayodhya. And on the eve of his coronation, his stepmother, Kaikeyi, approached his father, Maharaj Dasarath, and reminded him that he had offered her a boon because he was very pleased with her service when she cared for him when he was very ill. So she said, you remember you promised me 2 boons? He said, yes, I remember. And I told you that I would ask for them when there was need. Yes, I remember. So she said, I want these boons now. And the first boon was, of course, this also shows the effect of bad association, because Kaikeyi herself loved Lord Ramachandra as a son, and Lord Rama loved her as a mother. But she had a maidservant named Nimantra, who was sort of crooked-minded and evil-minded, and she put these thoughts in Kaikeyi's mind that that your son should be the king and not Lord Ram. So Kaikeyi asked for two boons. One was that her son should be made the king, and two, that Lord Ramachandra should be sent into exile for 14 years. Because she was very diplomatic, she thought, well, Bharat may be installed as the king, but Ram may come back with his armies and take back the kingdom. Therefore, she added the condition that he should be in exile for 14 years. So Maharaj Dasarath agreed. Real Kshatriya, he was true to his word. And shortly thereafter, he died of shock. And while in the forest, Ram and Sita and Lakshman had many pastimes. Actually, when they were going to leave, all the residents of Ayodhya wanted to go with them. None of them wanted to be separated from Sita, Ram, and Lakshman. But Lord Ramachandra forbade them. No, you can't make Ayodhya vacant. You have to go back. So Lord Ramachandra was ordered by his father, Maharaj Dasarath, to leave home for the forest under awkward circumstances. And the Lord, as the ideal son of his father, carried out the order, even on the occasion of his being declared the king of Ayodhya. One of his younger brothers, Lakshmanji, desired to go with him, and so also his eternal wife, Sitaji, desired to go with him. Initially, Lord Ramachandra discouraged Sita from accompanying him. He said that you are the daughter of a king, and you're also very beautiful. You might be at risk in the forest, so maybe you better just stay with at your father's home. But Sita refused. She said, no, I'm your wife. I must follow you wherever you go. Just like the shadow follows the person. So eventually, Lord Rama agreed for her also to accompany him. The Lord agreed to both of them, and all together they entered the Dandakaranya forest to live there for 14 years. During their stay in the forest, there was some quarrel between Ramachandra and Ravana, and the latter kidnapped the Lord's wife, Sita. The quarrel ended in the vanquishing of the greatly powerful Ravana, along with his kingdom and family. So there is an instructive incident that took place, because when Sita was being abducted by Ravana, there was a great devotee of Lord Ramachandra named Jatayu, who was a bird, and he very valiantly fought with Ravana. And Jatayu was powerful, but he was very old at that time. And so he was not able to succeed in rescuing Sita from the clutches of Ravana. When Lord Ramachandra was passing through the forest in search of Sita, he came across Jatayu, who had basically given his life for the service of the Lord. And he took his head in his lap and he caressed him. And eventually Jatayu left his body, and Lord Ramachandra performed the last rites just like a son would do for his father. And Srila Prabhupada has used this incident as an example of how we as devotees should make our best effort to preach. We may or may not be externally successful in our efforts, but if we give our all to the effort of preaching, the Lord will be satisfied. Sita is Lakshmi Ji, the goddess of fortune, but she is never to be enjoyed by any living being. She is meant for being worshipped by the living being along with her husband, Sri Ramachandra. A materialistic man like Ravana does not understand this great truth, but on the contrary, he wants to snatch Sita Devi from the custody of Rama, and thus incurs great miseries. The materialists who are after the opulence and material prosperity may take lessons from the Ramayana that the policy of exploiting the nature of the Lord without acknowledging the supremacy of the Supreme Lord is the policy of Ravana. Ravana was very advanced materially, so much so that he turned his kingdom, Lanka, into pure gold or full material wealth. But because he did not recognize the supremacy of Lord Ramachandra and defied him by stealing his wife, Sita, Ravana was killed, and all his opulence and power were destroyed. Lord Ramachandra is a full incarnation with 6 opulences in full, and he is therefore mentioned in this verse as Kalesha, or master of all opulence. So there's more, but for the sake of time, I'll skip text 24 and come to text 25, which is so beautiful. It's one of my favorite verses in the whole Bhagavatam. Again, I'll just read the translation. When Ravana was engaged in the battle, the trunk of the elephant that carried the king of heaven, Indra, broke into pieces, having collided with the chest of Ravana. And the scattered broken parts illuminated all directions. Ravana therefore felt proud of his prowess and began to loiter in the midst of the fighting soldiers, thinking himself the conqueror of all directions. But his laughter, overtaken by joy, along with his very air of life, suddenly ceased with the tingling sound of the bow of Ramachandra, the personality of Godhead. Purport. However powerful a living being may be, when he is condemned by God, no one can save him. And similarly, however weak one may be, if he is protected by the Lord, no one can annihilate him. So yes, there's a saying, Krishna rake mare ke, mare Krishna rake ke. If Krishna wants to protect someone, who can kill him? And if Krishna wants to kill someone, who can protect him? Ravana was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. And during the fighting, Parvati, the eternal consort of Lord Shiva, approached him and said that your Ravana is your great devotee and he's in trouble now. So you should do something to help him. And Lord Shiva replied, what can I do? When Lord Ramachandra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, wants to kill him, what power do I have to save him? So that is the basic principle. Krishna mare rake ke, Krishna rake mare ke. So under all circumstances, we should take shelter of Krishna. So thank you for joining us and listening so patiently and attentively. And now, if any of you want to ask any questions or make any comments, share any reflections, you can raise your hand, your physical hand or your virtual hand.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances.
Hare
This
Krishna.
is Hari Vallavi Dasi.
Yes, Hare Vallavi.
As you were saying, how fortunate we are that the Lord Krishna appears once in the day of Brahma, and we happen to be just 5,000 years away from that. And how Lord Chaitanya appears, and we just happen to be 500 years away from that. And how Srila Prabhupada appeared, and we just 50 years away from that. And how fortunate that I am that I get to get your association. So just 5 months away from, just kidding. But thank you, Guru Maharaj, for your wonderful association.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for that nice appreciation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Irina, Bhakti Irina.
Please accept my obeisances, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for sprinkling such a nectarian story already by your lotus lips, sprinkled with more sugar. Thank you for your association. I have a question. When Kalkeya, you did you hear me all right? It looks like
No, you
something.
cut out. You cut out
Okay.
from.
Okay. So you said that Kalkeya, by association, bad association, which were in the face of her maidservant, and those envious thoughts were planted in her head, in her mind. And my question is, does it mean that she was not pure in heart, so those seeds could be accepted by her, or it could happen to anyone?
Well, the way Srila Prabhupada describes it, Maharaj Dasarath had two co-wives, Kaushalya, who was the mother of Ramachandra, and Kaikeyi. And he said that that there was some natural rivalry between them. He said that psychology is natural. It was there 2 million years ago, and it's there now. But Lord Ram was so affectionate to her. He treated her just like his mother, and she also treated him just like her son. So there's a very affectionate relationship. But somehow, by the bad advice of Mantana, her mind became polluted, and so she took the occasion of the boons that Maharaj Dasarath had promised her to, ask for her son to be made the king and Ramachandra to be sent into exile. But her son did not accept to become the king. He considered that Lord Ramachandra was the rightful heir to the throne, and all the people loved him. And so he kept the padukas, you could say the shoes of Lord Ramachandra. And because someone had to administrate the kingdom, because as I mentioned, Maharaj Dasarath died of shock very soon after Lord Ramachandra went into exile. So someone had to administrate the kingdom. So he did it, but on behalf of Lord Ram. And he lived very simply, not like a king, but very austerely, just doing his duty until Lord Ram returned. So, we have to be careful of association. Srila Prabhupada said Krishna consciousness is 90% association. So. And Srila Rupa Goswami enumerates 64 items of devotional service. And he says that out of the 64, 5 are most potent, and that by even a slight association with any of one of the 5, one can awaken dormant love for Krishna. So the five are Sadhu Sangha, Namakirtana, Mutharavasa Murti Sharanvita Sevana, Sadhu Sangha, Namakirtana. Oh yes, Bhagavat Shravanam, Mutharavasa and Murti Sharanvita Sevana. And then he gives the definition of Sadhu Sangha. Swajati Ashaye Snigde, Sadhu Sangha Swato Vare, which means Swajati Ashaye, it means in the same community. And in our case, that would mean followers of Srila Prabhupada. Swajati Ashaye Snigde, and the way Srila Prabhupada translates it, who has a similar affection for the Lord. But Snigde can also be taken that the sadhu should be affectionate to you. So Swajati Ashaye Snigde Sadhu Sangha Swatovare. And Swatovare means he should be more advanced than you are. So that Sadhu Sangha is very potent, one of the five most potent items of devotional service. Anything else?
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. And am I asking a question? Oh, Krishna, I got frozen. Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for the reply. And may I ask a following question?
All right.
So when you were reciting Srila Prabhupada's definition of Sadhu Sangha, and first one is associating in your community, which we understanding as followers of Srila Prabhupada. And so does it mean that with followers of other sampradaya, it's a different sort of association?
Well, we can respect all genuine Vaishnavas. We should respect all genuine Vaishnavas. But as far as intimate association, we want the association of people who specifically will help us in our relationship with Srila Prabhupada and service to Srila Prabhupada.
Sure. Yeah, because it comes through the serving Srila Prabhupada, and this relationship is the most important to bring us to Krishna, is I'm understanding correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. So, Kamala Sundari.
Hi, Krishna Guru Maharaj. Narottam Prabhu actually had his hand up first, so maybe he can ask his question first.
All right.
No, please go ahead, Mataji.
Okay, my question is about Mother Sita, and we see that when Lord Ram left to the forest, Mother Sita, she showed such a high level of the spirit of sacrifice, of just wanting to go with Lord Ram. And we find that in this age, it's so much different, that with our loved ones and the ones we care about, the spirit of sacrifice is very much lower, obviously. And I just wanted to know, how do we overcome the spirit of laziness that we have, and to show the same spirit of sacrifice that Mother Sita showed there? She was just ready to give up everything and go to the forest. Not that I'm saying that I want to go to the forest or something, but yeah, how do we overcome the spirit of laziness that we have, to show the spirit of sacrifice more?
Well, first I would say, sincere, attentive chanting, because our natural position is to serve selflessly and by offenseless chanting, attentive chanting, sincere chanting, we can cleanse our heart, Cheto Darpano Marjanam, and revive our original spiritual nature. And the other thing would be to associate with sincere devotees who are in the mood of making sacrifices, for the sake of Srila Prabhupada, for the sake of the mission, for the sake of others. And their association will help you to manifest the same qualities.
Okay, thank you so much, Guru Maharaj.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare
Please
Krishna.
accept our obeisances. Goes to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, my question was again in relation with Kekai and how we see that even though she was, throughout her life, she was so loving and dedicated to Lord Ram, but due to wrong association or whatever reason, she, for some period of time, she became inimical and harsh towards Lord Ram, almost wanting, as far as sending him to the forest and not caring about his well-being or his rights as the eldest prince. So my question was, Guru Maharaj, that how do we in our life, if we face very harsh behavior or similar behavior from loving relationships, then how should be our attitude? How can we deal with that?
Well, the general rule, Chinadapi Sunichena Tararapi Sihishana Manina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. We have to tolerate. I mean, many times Srila Prabhupada said we have to tolerate what can be done. Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate when such events take place. But again, what can we do? We have to tolerate. And again, depending on who the person is, what the relationship is, you could possibly approach them and say, have I done anything to hurt you or offend you that is causing you to act towards me like this? Is there anything I can do to rectify myself or my misbehavior so that our relationship can be congenial, as it should be.
Thank you.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Any other questions or comments? Right, if not, we can end with Vaishnava Pranam. Thank you. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who are just like desired trees, who could fulfill the desires of everyone, and are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Panchakalpa Trivyascha Koti Vaishnava Ki Jai.
Thank you, Maharaj, for continuing the Sadhu Sangha. You know, snake the mood, and so I hope I'm waiting for next fourth Monday and continue watching your videos.
It'll be
Thank
so
you.
nice. Yes.
All right.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Deepa.
Thank you,
Maharaj.
Guru
Thank
Maharaj.
you, Maharaj, for everything.
Happy
Thank you.
Ramanavami in advance.
Same to
Hare
you.
Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
પતી ગયો ને ક્લાસ કે હજુ ચાલે હરી બોલ
So how will it end?
We won't leave until you leave.
Oh, it's hard to leave all of you nice devotees. I will leave. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you, Guru Maharaj.